the Common Sense Lecture, Common Sense Philosophy, Part 2. We've already discussed who you are as a soul. It shouldn't take many worlds away or even another day to know oneself. Look at your life. Look at your life spent here. Look at your actions. Look at your decisions. We are talking among grown adults. Shoot, by the time you're 18, you can look back and be like, who am I? Through my actions. If you can do that at 18, you can do that at 25, you can do that at 30, and anything above that, definitely. You can look at the analytics. It should not take many worlds away, many lifetimes to know oneself. No, you don't. It don't even have to take 50 years to know oneself. But some reason, there's this majority of people that at the age of 100, even so, they say they don't know who they are. They say, and they do things that an evolved version would never consider. They're still considering those things. Now, why is that? Why would a grown adult with many life experiences still sit here and confess that they still don't know oneself, or still sit here and still be dabbling in low vibrational works? Why would that be so? It's beyond me, right? Doesn't make sense, right? But it's happening. Why is it happening? Because many folks, grown folks at that, maybe they're not evolved grown folks, but they are folks who decided to not take responsibility, accountability. There are grown adults as well as spirits, because many of them may have lived many other lives too. They are well aware. They just decided to not grow up. They decided not to evolve. That's a decision. You know, when life's throwing you apples, or it may be throwing you rocks, you can either hide, you can catch it, or you can allow it to hit you, or it can hit you. You still know. Okay? You still know. You still know that life is throwing you apples. You still know that life is throwing you stones. You still know that you could have hid or not. But you still know. Now, my point is in that, it's your decision. Okay? But you still know. Okay? Because you're not, your mind's working right. Okay? You're not dead. You know. Once you step foot in this world, you knew. Like now you're in the judgment. It's those things. Once you are born into this world, you are literally under judgment. Yes. You are literally under a magnifying glass. Yes. Because now you literally have no choice but to live this life in a world like this. Whether it is a world of darkness, whether it is a world of harmony, you have no choice now because you are not dead, you are alive. You have no choice but to make decisions. And based off of your decisions, you will be judged. You have no choice. Now, if you've chosen to not take responsibility, if you've chosen to make excuses, then that is a you problem. Just as many. If you're deciding to tell me that you still don't know who you are in a world where you have no choice but to know who you are, that's a you problem. Okay? That's not a universe problem. That's a you problem. That's not a God problem. That's a you problem. That's not anybody else's issue. That's a you issue. It's your issue that you don't take responsibility. It's your issue that you think everyone's delusional and can't see through your lying soul because you don't want to take responsibility because you choose not to grow up. Well, you've grown up, sir. You look 80 in the face. But because you inside want to hide, that's a you problem. It's a you problem. So I think, here's the thing. There's a lot of them. Now, where do they get that sort of spirit? That sort of whatever that is? Just from following each other. You find out that 1 million people have jumped off the bridge and unfortunately have been their own demise. You ask why? Because they follow each other. That's it. Because they followed after each other. And literally, if one jump off the bridge, you're gonna jump off too. Clearly, their actions. They didn't say it. Their actions showed it. When Granny said, "If they jump off the bridge, are you gonna jump off too?" Hold your tongue. You didn't even have to say it. We see it. You've been your own demise. All because you followed after the person. All because you followed the majority. You thought because the majority, you thought if it was the majority that they're always in the win, that they're always the right. Who said that? Who said that? Statistics? Because I know facts don't say that. I know the facts would never say that. That's a you problem. That's a you thing. Okay? You still have to know the facts. Like, yeah, the majority is going left, but let me weigh out. Let me see. Let me do the math. Let me know the facts. Like, where are they headed? I don't know. Okay, well, I'm not sure if I should follow them. They don't even know where they're going, but everyone else is going. Like, I know, but no, I don't know. I might just like wait a little bit, wait it out. Okay, and that's how. Excuse me. That is how you see that depiction of a person that they're in the slower lane, right? They're taking a slower path that seems to be harder because of it not being so convenient and because they may not have many people among them in this lane, right? So it seems to be more of the harder path. But besides that, you see this depiction where, it's slower. But the brilliance in that, because the slower the lane, the more you have time to really gather the truth, the facts, the evidence. there's time. You have a lot of time on your hands to really think. That's it. It's like you have no choice but to take your time through every endeavor, through every obstacle. It's like, it takes so long that it's like you're in this certain obstacle and you're really like in it. So there's some brilliance in that rather than just jumping headfirst and just, are you really learning the lesson? Anyway, but that's common sense. Remind you, this is the common sense lecture. Okay? So all of what I'm saying is common sense. It's a reminder. And it's for the people that have been in this slower lane, for you to know you're not alone, and to confirm and reassure you that what you've already known is true. That there is brilliance in taking your time, being least, being last, choosing the opposite, being the odd one out, being the minority. There's something brilliant about that. Okay? But you already know that. Because if you've been in this sort of lane, then you already know what you receive from it. Just like in the fast lane, you receive things. We receive things too. And clearly, we received common sense. Would anyone believe that in such a lane you will receive common sense? You'll keep your common sense. You won't lose it. And you know what? Part of that is because you have yourself to answer to. You have yourself to question things. You have yourself to search within. It's not the next man or the next woman's decision based on what I'll do or to validate who I am. I have myself in this lane because it's only me and a few others. So it really does keep you as original as you started. It keeps you as an individual. Do you understand me? Because this is the way that we've decided to go. And this way is where the minority walks. So it's not to say, oh, I didn't want to ask anyone, but there's not many people to ask. And so the reward and what you receive from this way is individuality. Because again, in this way, it is only really you. That's one of the gifts you receive by walking this way. I call it a gift, but that's what you'll get by just walking this way. By walking this way, you get to stay an individual. How and why? Because there's not many people that are influencing you. There's not many people that are in this lane. So there's not going to be people that you can just turn around and talk to, turn around and ask things, turn around and listen to. Common sense. But in the fast lane, it's harder. What you receive from the fast lane is really hardship when it comes to a person's essence, a person's soul. It's like an attack to those things. And we don't want that. Okay? We don't want to lose ourselves. Because when you're in the fast lane, it's so easy to just follow after any and everyone. Because the moment you turn around, there's someone there. The moment that you look up, there's someone there. Like, you can't really move around without bumping into someone, talking to someone talking to you, you hearing this commotion. Like, there's never enough quiet time to hear your own thoughts. So who are you really? Like, you're hearing everyone else. It's actually harder, but it's not harder from what you see, it's harder from what you know. Okay? That's the deceivance. It may not look hard. The fast lane, the convenient way may not look hard, but you'll know it to be hard because it's hard on your soul. It's hard on your individuality. It's hard on your essence. It's hard to be original. It's hard to be an individual. Now, in the slow lane, from on the surface, it looks harder because there's no one there. You're gonna be thinking like, what if I need this? What if I need that? What if I did that? But you'll know that it's easy because it's easy on the soul. It's easy on your essence. It's easy to be an individual. It's easy to be original. And that's common sense. So how I've depicted it is how you can see really everything. There is that lane, there is that other lane. There is the majority, and there's the minority. There's the broader way, and there's the narrow way. These are the things you receive from those things. There is deception there. Why is there deception? Because our eyes see one thing, but our intuition, not only intuition, but the facts say another thing. Okay? The knowing. It's one thing to see, but it's another thing to know. So these things can be a deception if you allow it. Also, if you allow another person to guide you through their eyes and their intuition, that's another thing. If you think that everyone has the same intuition or the same anything, you've just been fooled. Because then that comes into question your purpose in life, God's purpose for you. Not everyone's purpose in life was ever going to be the same. Why? Because God has something in store for you. Now, you can say that you and your friend will grow up to work the same job, go for the same career, but there's still a God that has a purpose for you, that sees something in you and can choose you. Just like we expect people to, accept us or invite us in or see something great in us and choose us for maybe opportunity. Like, oh, I'm so, when you say things like, I'm so considerably fortunate to be considered for this opportunity. Well, you can say that to human, but picture if it was God, right? For him to see such a brilliance in you, whatever that may be, because only the Lord knows what he has in store for you. Two different things. So that is that thing that I'm talking about, the God's purpose for you. Here's the thing. It's not to take away from your individuality, who you want to be, what you want to do in life. It is not. It is to only align, to evolve into something higher. That he's saying that I can take you to places, I can give you things far more greater than what you have ever experienced or that anyone could ever give you with being who you are. That it's just an addition. It's just a blessing. He is in alignment with who you are. Understand me. He has chosen you because of who you are. Because who you are as he is choosing you is something brilliant. It's something different than someone else. Do you hear me? He sees what you know you are. That's why he's chosen you. So the last thing he's going to do is give you something that's not of you, something that doesn't align with you. That's the last thing he's going to do. So I'm saying this so that you can understand that God's presence, God's purpose isn't to take away from what you want in life, your desires. It should only align with who you are and your desires. Because I feel like some people think that God's purpose for them is just this religious thing. Like, oh, he just wants me to be, alone or least. But they're not, they don't know. They think, but they don't know. If you knew, then you would understand that there's meaning to those things. In order for certain things to be given, certain things need to happen. Everything is deep with him. Everything is a sign. Everything is comes to fruition, a revelation, a realization. Once, things are in place. So if you were never in isolation, if you were never alone, then you would not be able to figure out, realize, have this revelation, receive the gifts given. But again, they don't know. They just think that, oh, he just wants me alone. He just wants me to be poor. He just wants me to be miserable. Maybe they don't say miserable, but they're leading to it, because in a way they're almost saying like, I don't want it. I don't want the purpose, because all he wants me to be is alone. Well, you miss out. But if God said, my son is getting married and he's looking for a bride for his son, everyone would be like, yeah, that's me. But when he considered everyone, not only, but to be considered, you had to do the work. When it was time to do the work, as in isolation, being alone, you said no to that calling. You said no to that purpose. Because remember, the purpose was for a deep meaning. There was a reason. As I'm just saying, like, there's a reason. It's going to lead to something. But you couldn't even do the work. You couldn't even be alone. God just wants me to be alone. Well, there's a reason if he does. Yeah, well, I just don't want it. I can't do it. Okay, well, then you'll know, then eventually you'll know that whatever he was doing it for, you won't receive, right? They don't want to hear that. But they'll be the same ones knocking on the door when it's wedding day. And be like, Father, let me in. And he's like, I never knew you. That's common sense. And there is many, because that way is broad. Okay? And that's the reason why this way is always broad. And the other way is always narrow. Well, not narrow, but that there's only a few that go through. And the reason why it's become narrow, right? There's a reason why it's narrow. It doesn't need to be a broad way. Narrow just means only a few go through. And broad means that many go through. So it always leads back to the same message when it comes to God's way. And hear me out. God's way is in alignment with the higher version of you. God's way is in alignment with the naturality of the worlds, of the universe, of creation. God's way. It isn't to say, oh, God's way is different from my way, unless your way is against naturality, is against. That's it. If you are not against the natural things in life, then you're not against God's way, because God created things naturally. Now, man has created things that are synthetic because they're not a God. Do you understand me? They could never create something natural because they never created the world. Do you understand that? That's common sense. It's not to discredit man's creation. It's just to say what the foundation is. They will tell you their foundation is lab grown. Their foundation is synthetic. Their foundation is just a hybrid, a copy, which is brilliant in its own way. But to folks that claim to be oblivious, well, here it is. Philosophy of common sense. They are not a God. So God can only make things natural. Why? Because he's the creator of the world. He is the one that has first built this. He has uprooted this world. Now, the only thing I can do, or you can do, is build on top of that. Not that we should have to. And that goes into those things. We shouldn't have to, but we do. Anything on top of that is sugar coated. Is now like tarnishing what is natural already, right? It's doing more damage to anything. So anyone that thinks that creating unnatural things is good, or you're making sense of it, the truth is that it's really a danger to the natural world more than anything. Now, I get that you come accustomed to it, right? Technology, synthetic things. But that's one thing. It's still what it always is and will be. Not natural. And because of that, there will be causes and effects to that. Okay? There will be damage done. So that is why they will always write their labels, or they're supposed to tell you, warning, warning, this is cancer causing. Warning, if you swallow this, call this number. Call poison control. Warning. But there's no warning if you grab a fruit from a tree. There's no warning if you grab a herb and you chew on that and it keeps your teeth fresh and your breath fresh and it kills the bacteria. There's no warning. But you want to create and replicate. You want to take away only to implement something synthetic. Warning, warning, warning. Again, if you've come accustomed to it because we've been born into the system of toothpaste and soap, lotion and cream, synthetic fibers rather than cotton, because remember our ancestors picking cotton, and now there's cotton clothing, but there's also synthetic fibers, polyester, plastic. So that goes into the plastic manufacturing, where they create this plastic, and now you have plastic food, you have plastic furniture, you have plastic clothing, you have, let's just say you have plastic cloth, because you got plastic on your curtain as curtains, you have plastic as a couch. The fabric of it, the fabric of life have become plastic. When there is cotton, there are natural things that can be filled with natural things. But instead, you have to raise the question, why would they considerably create such a synthetic material, not only, but that can cause destruction to the mind, to the body, to the soul, to the ecosystem, to everything natural. That's my point. It raises that question, why? And once they find out that this material is can corrupt the world, not only but destroy it, why would they considerably keep it in manufacture? Why would they keep manufacturing it? Have they found that people, buy this and now they become rich off of it? Yeah, but there's still something in that, because they can manufacture cotton. They could get rich off of it. Not only because, it's popular and it's comfortable, it's not itchy, but because it's also healthy. So it raises the question again, why would they choose something that would destroy the world, destroy the skin, destroy the body, destroy the world, when they could have just kept cotton that would heal the world, keep the skin healthy, keep the world together? I said it. Common sense. Something here, something that is in charge of this world, something that keeps this world, this system running, wants to destroy it, wants to destroy you, wants to destroy your skin because you're itchy. You ever had some polyester leggings on? Or you're sitting on the unnatural synthetic tiling on the floor, and then you get up and your thighs, your little baby fat is itchy? Yeah. Yeah. How about that? Irritation. Do not mourn your sensitive skin. Do not mourn it. People that have very sensitive skin, don't mourn it. I do. I know. It's hardship to keep up with it, but don't mourn it, because it is your weapon. It is your defense. It is to remind you. Versus you not having sensitive skin and you're able to eat these things, eat whatever you want to eat, lay on all sort of surfaces, whether they're real or fake, and you don't see anything on the surface. Not to say it's not doing something to you, because it is. But with people that have sensitive skin, we see it automatically. You get a little bit of drop of sauce on your chin, you instantly break out the next day. Maybe even like in 2 hours, you're going to feel something, because it's an irritant to the skin. And with your skin, it can't take, it just won't be able to take it. It's already screaming. It's like, ah! People with sensitive skin, it may look good. Their skin looks perfect, blemish free, but they eat like crap. Let them tell you, right? They can eat the same thing you eat candy, eat like anything sugary, anything that would naturally affect the body, would naturally affect the body from the inside out. It isn't the outside in. Now, it may be going in, but it is affecting what's inside, that's trying to make it come out from the outside. Again, you have put it in your body, but the breakout is they're trying to come out. Okay? From the inside out now. Because we put it in and it's trying to come out. And so it seeps through open places, right? Our pores, our mouth, our butt, our scalp, like our pores, open places. We start to smell these things, right? Odor. We start to see it. So don't mourn sensitive skin, because it's just a reminder, a lot more quicker than most, that, okay, I shouldn't be eating this. Because if you were waiting for the manufacturer to tell you, or if you may have never seen a warning sign, well, guess what? Your own body will warn you, right? Too much salt causes water retention. Maybe you got swollen ankles, swollen feet. There are signs. There are signs. And the more you get older, the more you will know. The more you will know. And here's the thing, it's not even because you're getting older, it's because when you're a kid, everything's monitored, right? Most of the time, where you eat at the same time everyone eats. You eat when the food is ready, and you're not the one cooking it. So, but when you're older, you're eating shoot all day, every day. You're eating things that you shouldn't be eating. You're eating things in times where you shouldn't be eating it. You're eating things that you know that you wouldn't necessarily eat if someone was cooking your food. If you were a child, there are certain things that you're not going to give a child. You're not going to give a child junk food. You're not going to eat junk food. A child's not going to eat junk food for dinner. You're going to make sure that doesn't happen. But as an adult, we're eating whatever we want to eat. And most of the time now, it's junk food. We know as a kid, our guardians was like, if you're going to have fast food, it's going to be on a weekend, right? If we ever had like a pizza or Chinese, it was maybe a Friday. You know what I mean? Any other day, it was home cooked food. That was a no-no. There was like a time for it. So if you're now experiencing things, signs in your body, it's not just because you're old, it's because you're overdoing it. And the body cannot, you're eating so much, not only, but you're eating so much unhealthy things that your body, you're not even giving your body enough time to release it. So it becomes stagnant. It becomes it attaches to your body. So you got old fat, old blood, old everything, old cells, and it's supposed to be rejuvenating. But how can it naturally rejuvenate if there's still like old cells in there that was supposed to be extracted, through your urine or your sweat. You're not doing the things that you're supposed to do or what you used to do as a kid. You're not running around, you're not sweating, you're not drinking enough water, you're not peeing it out. You're not as active. Your body it's a muscle for things to flow properly. But if you're stiff, that means the fat is stiff, the blood is not circulating, you're gaining weight. Anyway, so we get it. It goes down. Everything is blah, 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 blah. Everything is just no. Okay? So don't be surprised if your mind is going down, your body, your soul, your spirit, you're depressed. Blah, 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 blah. Don't be surprised if your kidneys start shutting down, your heart, everything at the same time. Blah, 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 blah. Because they all work together. It's a freaking beast. It's a machine. And it doesn't need your help. It just, you know what I mean? Like, it runs on its own. It just needs, if you're going to do anything, just feed it properly, right? Like, hydrate it properly. And it's just a reminder. But these are the simple things, right? It shouldn't take for doctors to tell us, well, you've been eating bad. I know. It shouldn't take for them to be like, well, we seen in your lab work that your cholesterol is high. We should know because we're eating bad. It shouldn't take a doctor to be like, your blood pressure is very high, ma'am. Have you been getting exercise? We should know because we're not. We shouldn't have to go to a ortho doctor to find out that we have, bone problems. We should know because we don't move our body. You're giving people jobs that don't even need jobs. You're giving people jobs that don't even need jobs. Because it shouldn't be their job. And that's common sense.